Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And Joshua Gray.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Josh, Matt, and I mean, you guys leave your Pokemon at home, or do you bring them with?
Is it a good sign that you're already like rubbing your temple as you do this? you're like, oh god.
Okay, bring up the energy level. Let's do this.
Crap again.
No,
John, Josh, and Matt, Outriders, whatever.
I mean, have you not noticed me doing it at work every day when I come talk to you?
No, I've been too busy defending myself from you bitching about me sighing all the time.
You have a Josh-shaped tumor in your skull now.
Right. What's going on, guys? Huh? How you doing?
Much. Yeah. I mean, it's summer here in Vegas, so everything's melting.
It's warm. It got warm real quick.
It got warm real quick.
Like last weekend, it was in the 70s, and now it's in the 90s.
Well, it's 105 today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so why did you say 90s?
Or hundreds. Sorry.
Okay.
I wanted to go back to the 70s.
Yeah. You want bell bottoms and disco
You just
music?
want disco, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You should be dancing. Yeah.
I like the nightlife.
Thank you.
You like to boogie?
I like to boogie.
We can go. I'm sure they have roller disco somewhere in town still.
It's only on SATURDAY night.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Marry a better band.
We're a disco
God's
podcast
green
now,
earth
folks.
In the,
we're in the middle of trying to rediscover our identities because we're getting like nothing to talk about for Legion. So we're pitching.
No.
We got an article.
We got
about
a new
Bossk.
We got a Bossk article.
Oh, you're right. We did.
Yeah.
I almost forgot because they dropped it the day after we recorded.
It had no new information.
I was going to say, let's talk about all the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tweet.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah. I'd say the FFG marketing people were just screwing with us, but I would have to believe that the FFG marketing department is like a sentient being.
In their defense,
I met one of the guys, as I said, at Celebration. He was a really nice dude.
They didn't want to hear about the whole Imperial specialist pack again, so they're like, well, we need to drop this article now at some point. So
there was actually more unrevealed info in the specialist pack than there was in the Bossk article. So
that's true. But at least we saw it, and
there's a bunch of stuff we didn't know.
Gives us some new pretty
pack.
pictures to use when we want to paint up our Bossk, if we don't want to paint it purple.
So
and I'm painting it purple.
We always spend time talking about ourselves. How are you guys doing out there, all you Outriders? You feeling good? What you wearing right now?
Why did this just turn into pillow talk?
I don't know. Trying to fill some time.
When we edit this together, John, can you put some like smooth Kenny G underneath it?
We know you've been working so hard out there.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Nobody comes to this show for like hard-hitting Legion analysis, anyways. So nobody minds.
Well, because we tell them not to. So.
Right? Yeah. Well, there's that too.
Well, we can do a little recap of some hard-hitting information from yesterday. We did get one of the moments that everyone in North America has been waiting for last night. NHL Game 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, we're a hockey podcast,
Yeah,
too.
we're a hockey podcast now.
Yeah, so go Blues.
Yay!
And those are in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Whoa!
Yes.
Missouri.
Matt knows
St.
sports
Louis,
puck.
Missouri.
I do.
Yes.
I'm trying to contribute. Just
No,
leave
it was
me alone.
good. It was good. It was a good final. I was happy
Yeah, it
with
was.
it. Sorry, all you Boston people out
anytime
there.
you get a Stanley Cup Game 7, it's
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Who
one of
were
the greatest moments in sports.
Who did they give the Blues to? Who went home?
Boston.
The Boston
the Bruins
actually didn't go home. They lost at home.
They stayed home
They
and
just
lost.
Okay.
Lost in their home arena.
Yeah.
Jordan Binnington absolutely had a gem there in the net. Almost had a shutout going until like the last 2 minutes where he had a garbage goal, a knuckle puck actually.
Right.
Go figure. And then
did they do the flying V to get there?
They should have.
They
right?
should have. Yeah.
Goldberg. No, but the gem.
Well, see, the problem with the
net.
Bruins is they always just try and walk it in.
It was an IT crowd reference. I got that. It's good. That's good.
I get that joke.
No, Binnington, who rookie goalie, had an awesome game, and then he gets on live TV at the post-game interview and drops
F-bombs everywhere.
F-bombs left and right. And then, of course, after him, like the next two players also drop F-bombs on live TV. So
You
you
just
know
won
what?
the Stanley Cup. Whatever.
It's great.
I can't wait to see the FCC
The effing
complaints.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Ajit Pai's somewhere having a brain aneurysm.
Right.
Oh,
well,
good.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
well, I mean, Deadspin, sports blog, always goes and does a Freedom of Information Act for all of the FCC complaints after the Super Bowl halftime show.
That's funny.
Oh, really?
And then publishes them.
Ah.
I hope they do the same thing for that.
That's got to be a trove of
Yeah.
information that people are really offended by this?
Yeah, there was a sports bettor here in Las Vegas that made $100,000 on the Blues winning the Stanley Cup because the Blues were in last place in January in the
Holy
entire
cow.
NHL. They were
Wow.
the worst team in the league, and there was something like 250 to 1 odds at that point to win the Stanley Cup Finals. So they went on a bit of a hot streak in January and won like 9 out of 10 or something like that. So they were still laying 250 to 1. So if somebody went down and threw down, I think it was like $500, $400, something like that, and turned it into $100,000.
Basically, to put that in Legion terms for you, Matt,
Yeah.
that's if I were to go down to Binion's right now and put a giant bet on you winning Worlds.
Next year.
Wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, next week. Yeah, I think your odds are a little bit longer than that, but I appreciate the vote of confidence there.
Yeah. I didn't say I'd
honestly,
make that bet,
that
but-
would probably be the best way to find a person with a time machine too.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
Those kind of bets.
Yeah.
I go back and bet on Leicester back in like 2014. No, but actually, there was a fairly big event in Legion last night.
Oh yeah.
The semifinals of
Vader League
How about we get
season
Star
three.
Wars
Season
news?
3, yeah.
Huh?
Well,
How about get Star Wars?
We're gonna
news
get
first?
Star Wars
First?
in next.
This is kind of
Please.
along with Star
Hey,
Wars news.
This is the meat and potatoes of our
He's the
show.
moderator here.
You don't
okay?
eat
He
the
sets the
steak
pace.
before you eat the salad.
Look, you can have pudding before you eat your meat.
We're
How
adults,
can you
Josh.
But how can you have pudding if you don't eat your meat?
We'll get to that. We'll get to the meat. Don't worry.
Easy. You put it in your face. Na-na.
All right, so Orchimedes beat Luke Cook yesterday in the semifinals for Invader League. So we're down to the final two, and it's Orchimedes and
Beefcake.
Beefcake.
Yeah.
Beefcake.
Beefcake.
So I believe Beefcake is British. I think he's from the UK. One of them was British, and the other one was Australian.
Well, I know that Kyle's not British or Australian.
He's from Maryland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's taking
Or
that
Virginia or something. I don't know. It's that Nova area. He's one of those guys.
the Beltway.
The Beltway. Yeah, there you go.
He's in and amongst the
The
Beltway.
real hive of scum and villainy in this country.
Right. So he's going on to the finals in the Invader League Season 3. So congratulations.
Congrats to both of them,
Yeah, congratulations. Good luck to both of them.
I hope they go to a Game 7. It works like that, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sports ball.
All right, so
Ready for some Star Wars
What do we
news.
got,
Star Wars
Matt?
news. Actually, as of today, well, Thursday now as we're recording, we now have the dates for Star Wars Celebration 2020. Yeah, 2020. It's going to be in Anaheim this year, and in August, it's going to be, was it the 27th? Yeah, 27th through the 30th.
No.
So I'll probably be going again.
That'd be cool.
August.
That's closer.
So more than a
Yeah,
year away.
tickets are going on sale here in like a couple days. So
What?
Yeah.
Who plans that far in advance? It's a year away.
Star Wars nuts.
people that need to save up a lot of money to do this kind of
Matt.
thing. Yeah.
I don't even know
People
if I'm
who
going to
own
be
game stores.
We don't even know if like Star Wars is going to be a thing a year from now.
Shut
It
up.
will always be a thing in my heart. As
Be
long,
quiet.
as long as there is a spark of hope, it will
Okay.
fan the flames of resistance throughout the galaxy.
Resistance is
Because
built on hope.
I was
That-
going to
that
say,
too.
I was
or
going to say
rebellion's one
conventions
of
are
those.
built on hope.
Conventions are built on
okay.
dollars. What are you talking about? Ticket sales.
But we
But,
built this
that's
city
coming out.
on rock and
Plus,
roll.
E3 was this last week, so we got a lot of new footage and information about the Fallen Order.
Which
So-
I'm very disappointed in.
What?
Of course
Very
you are. Of
already
course you
disappointed.
are.
Yes,
How are you already disappointed? Well, I shouldn't even ask that.
right. In Jedi Knight,
Yeah.
remember the Jedi Knight and Jedi
Yeah.
Academy
Yeah.
games?
Yeah.
You could cut off people's arms and stuff occasionally.
okay, yeah.
Right? They have confirmed there will be no lightsaber dismemberment in Fallen Order.
I mean, was that a question that someone asked?
I don't know. There's
Can I cut off an
there's
arm,
been
Liz?
faux news articles about it all morning because they had the gameplay footage. Like nobody's losing arms or anything.
I'm disappointed.
Whatever.
I are disappoint, son.
But anyways, it is it's looking pretty good. They confirmed that despite the image they were shown, it's going to be very free-form, kind of open world. You can jump in your spaceship at any time, fly around any planet you want to that's in the game. And
So Grand Theft TIE Fighter.
kind of like
All
that.
right,
We'll
so
see.
seeing as that's the only video games I will play are
Yeah.
those kind of games, I'm in.
Cool.
Sound interested?
Yeah, it should be pretty good. But
Why did they get Rockstar to do this? They should have got Rockstar.
I mean, they're pretty busy. You know, they've got
I'm
their
sure
own
if you
things.
throw Star Wars money at them,
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
drop what they're doing.
And probably
I
put
mean,
Keanu
they did it for
Reeves
the
in it
end
or
of Game
something.
of Thrones, so...
Keanu Reeves for Evan.
I mean, Keanu
Oh,
Reeves
that
is-
would be so amazing.
People have been talking about that for months.
He's
But
so hot right now,
He's
though.
so hot right now. Yeah. He'd probably just donate it all to a children's hospital or something.
probably would.
Yeah, he would.
He's basically replaced Chuck Norris as everyone's like go-to like.
Yeah, but was Chuck Norris
mysterious
ever like
everyman.
that demonstrably good? He was
No.
funny.
No.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that was more like tongue in cheek.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's doing real movies. Like, sorry, John Wick's kind of a real movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Missing in Action was like 80s camp.
What was okay? That's fair.
I'm
What was the
Wait
Bruce
a
Lee
minute.
film that he was in?
Sidekicks with Jonathan Brandis. Do you remember that movie? All right, you need to IMDb Sidekicks.
Or you don't.
You
know,
know,
one
you
of
do.
those things.
It was one
You
of
can
the
make your
greatest
own
movies
choices.
ever made. Jonathan Brandis was like nerdy kid who had like asthma and he'd use an inhaler all the time, and he dreamed of being as good as Chuck Norris. And then one day he was in a Karate Kid, like total Karate Kid ripoff. And at the end of the movie, Chuck Norris shows up
yeah.
at his karate tournament as himself. And
Did he
like,
give him a thumbs up?
probably. I don't
Okay.
And a
remember.
roundhouse kick.
So it's-
in his jeans.
But I remember like the like the evil dojo, like the Cobra Kai equivalent of this movie.
Uh-huh.
Like the bad guy basically tried to fight like the dojo leader for Jonathan Brandis, and Chuck Norris like steps in and whoops his butt. I mean,
As Chuck
look,
Norris
I
is
haven't
wont
seen
to
this
do.
movie since I was like 6 years old.
I was too
Made
busy
an
watching
indelible
huge
impression.
I was
impact.
too busy watching Ruskies and Rad and Flight of the Navigator when you were watching that movie. So
Red Dawn.
Wolverines. The only time I would be
Okay.
happy for a
Anyways, to
Wolverine.
wrap up, so Fallen Order is looking pretty good. They did confirm this is official canon. This is a story that happens in the new universe, and as such, you will not be able to make light side, dark side choices because how you get there is up to you, but the end of your decisions is kind of a preset point in time.
That's stupid.
Well,
No, that's dumb.
okay,
That is pants on head dumb.
okay. Sorry,
you were
feel
asking,
so strongly for this game you had no interest
you were
in 5
expecting a
minutes ago.
nuanced opinion.
Yeah,
from
that's
Josh.
true. Never mind. Moving on. Here's something more your speed. They're going to have the Skywalker Saga Lego game come. Yeah, I know you're so excited.
They're remaking Pod Racer.
Actually, that's kinda
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I'll check it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how it finally processed what I actually
I just
said.
don't want to like anything you like.
I know,
pretty
right?
much, okay.
Yeah.
So let me just get this straight. So Josh is poo-pooing this Fallen Order game because of the lack of moral consequences, yet he's super stoked about making Pod Racer?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pod Racer was a good game. Like any racing game is a good game, regardless of what skin
It
it's
is not a
wearing.
good game. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a silly game.
Hot
It's not
takes,
a
hot
good
takes from
game.
Josh. Any racing game is a good game.
1998 says that it was an okay game at best. I'm glad you had fun with it. I had fun with it as well.
There's a lot of people out there that consider Pod Racer
Hey.
to be a classic N64 title.
All right,
so-
Outriders out there, give us your opinions if you think that Pod,
Pod
Racer
Racer.
was an awesome
Who's
game.
Is that what you
excited
call
for the
pod
Pod Racer
racing?
remake?
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
also, as a second question, name a bad racing game because there's tons of them.
Name a bad racing game.
Yes.
Carmageddon.
Is that a racing game?
Yeah.
Okay. This is like a question I'm posing to the audience because I honestly don't know enough video
Oh,
games.
I thought you were asking me.
No,
I think some of the later Twisted Metals were supposed to
Yeah,
be really bad, but
like the original Twisted Metal was really good.
I feel like there's a lot of really, really bad racing games
Yeah.
out there.
I don't know. I haven't played a racing game seriously since
Pod
since,
Racer
like,
was on F-Zero level.
GTA
Sorry.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's not a racing game.
Or not GTA. What am I
was gonna say
thinking?
GTA.
Gran Torino.
Gran
Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Jeez.
Yeah.
Gran
PlayStation.
Gran
Gran
Torino.
Torino.
Hey, you kids, get off my lawn! It's
I would play that game.
Play the hell out of that
the
game.
racing game where you're Clint Eastwood and you chase kids off your lawn. Like how fast you can.
We got
you
a
can
new
wave
mission
a
for you.
shotgun at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pod Racer, check it out.
That's cool. All right. And then that's pretty much... Oh, we have release dates for Sabine Bossk as per distribution channels.
No.
And the Fallen ATST.
Way to bury the lead.
Yeah, sorry. This is relevant to Legion now. Sorry, we're going to have to switch tracks real bad.
Okay.
28th of June.
Tentatively?
Well, I mean, that's what's up there. They've changed it before, so
Pray
hopefully...
we don't change it further.
Pray we don't yeah.
I've altered your release dates.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
so fingers crossed, 28th is what we're looking at.
All right. Well, I won't hold my breath, but that's
Not
good.
world's legal. Womp womp.
Also, in kind of a general interest portion, contrast paints from Citadel/DW is coming out this Friday. Or Saturday.
Saturday.
So that's actually really exciting.
Yeah. I know we were talking about, like, trying it out and seeing how it does, so...
It was so exciting, I just gave you $60.
Cool. Do you have any more?
Yes.
Okay,
I do
cool.
have more dollars.
All right. Good.
That's that's
need
going
more
to be the most exciting thing I've seen from personally been excited about from GW in a while, because that's going to change up a lot of things for painting, even for people who are inexperienced and for people who are more experienced.
For those that may not have heard, can you explain the basic premise behind the contrast paints?
So anybody who's familiar with Duncan, the
Two thin coats.
Exactly. So Duncan, even if you're not a GW player or anything, he does some great painting videos, and he's pretty much like a YouTube celebrity for GW.
Mm-hmm.
But his whole shtick was too thin coats, water down your paint, which is great advice because a lot of those GW P3 Army Painter paints, a lot of them are very thick.
Yeah.
So rather than like clogging up, leaving brush strokes and stuff on your actual models, like thin your paints down, do multiple thin coats. Well, these new contrast paints are basically like highly pigmented, and they're intended to combine the base, the layer, and the shade all within one paint. And rather than having to worry about actually thinning them down, you basically are supposed to just put on one thick coat. And
It's basically the DSLR cameras of painting. Because before you used to have skill to be a good painter, and now you can just slap on some paint
Take
and
a
it
picture
does it all
of it?
for you.
Oh.
No.
it's a great way to cut steps. Like, I'm looking at it from an experienced painter perspective, and I'm like, okay, like I want to try this out to see how it works. If I can cut some steps out, great. I still plan on, there's things that it can't replicate. You're still going to want to do edge highlighting. You're still going to want to do like, OSL, some object source lighting. If you want to do, any kind of, I don't know, like battle damage, chipping, things like that, like weathering, those are all things you're going to have to do separately. But this will forego a lot of steps. And even though they're a little bit more expensive on a pot by pot basis, if you're saving the cost of a base coat, a layer, and a shade,
Right.
Yeah, that's
it's
not a
worth
bad way
it.
to look at it.
Yeah.
I
it's
think
totally
it's
worth it.
$7.80 American for a pot of that stuff.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I try and follow along, like, Sarastro videos, and I turn into, like, the Legion painting equivalent of a Pinterest fail. So this is the kind of stuff where you'll be able to do a lot of that kind of stuff that they do on their base layering and their shading in one stroke, literally.
And honestly, a lot of those things, once you start getting the routine down, they all just end up becoming a part of the
Right.
process anyway. There's not a lot of skill in doing a base coating and doing a layer. Like, a lot of it comes...
Says you.
Well, once you get practice doing it, like...
Can you color within the lines?
No.
Okay.
No, I cannot.
Yes, I could see.
Half of my painting is touch-up on where I fat-fingered something.
And that's fine.
Well,
I mean, those are things
clean
that
up
you'll...
is part of painting.
Your painting has improved a lot, Josh.
Aw.
And I'm not just saying that to be nice to you, because I'm not really all that nice to you. It's...
I don't want your charity.
Your painting skills have become objectively better.
You.
.tm.
Right. Do we have to pay them a royalty for that?
Pay myself a royalty for that.
No, that's
Yeah,
true.
I was going to say, I think we've got the precedent on the timeline.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for the paints. I think they're going to open
Yeah, I
up
can't
a
wait
lot
to
of-
try them out maybe this next week.
Yeah.
Get maybe some on them gladiators.
Yeah, I think the flesh color paint will be a great one to try. I'm
So much flesh.
skeptical. I'm skeptical on the whites. A lot of people are talking about using the apothecary white on the
Well, somebody
stormtroopers.
put up a stormtrooper photo that they did the helmet and the chest plate, and I think it looked pretty decent.
It looked a
with
little too
just
gray.
the white.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it looked all right.
Yeah, it looked, and I don't know if they used the gray sear
Oh,
base
yeah, that's
spray
true.
or
That's true.
what, but it looked a little ashy, like slightly gray tinted. And it's stormtroopers; they're supposed to be like glossy white,
Give that
right?
stormtrooper some cocoa butter.
Yeah. Some good lotion.
Did they put it on their skin?
Oh, that's why I got the hose again.
goes
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
No, I think that there will be some steps you could use with the stormtroopers with those contrast paints, but I don't think it's going to be an absolute one step, one coat, then you're done thing.
I mean, it could be. It'd look better. It'd look better than if you were planning to do that with other stuff, I guess.
Well, I think with some of the tournaments we're starting to see have a painting requirement. I believe LVO next year.
Yeah, LVO has a
minimum.
has a 3-color requirement.
That's awesome. I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And not that I've seen a lot of the just gray models with the Legion community. I think we're a lot better than what I've seen from 40K or from War Machine.
Yeah.
But I think that it makes it a lot less daunting for new people.
Sure. Yeah.
And especially with droids and clones coming out, they seem that are they look.
Something, droids especially, or something. The Battle
Oh,
ones
boy,
are probably going to
yeah.
be custom,
Oh, yeah.
custom made for this kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
Get
throw
the paint rollers out.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. And maybe, if you want to spice it up a little bit, throw a little bit of chip and damage on there and, paint some of the metal parts. But other than that, I mean, yeah.
What GW really needs to do to revolutionize this is do like Army Painter does with some of their shades, because they have just like a dipping method. Just come out with a paint that just lets me
Ugh.
dip it as a base coat.
Gross.
No.
And I
but-
swear I thought you were going to say Chippendales for a second. I was imagining B1s with little bow ties on.
I was going Rescue
Chip and damage?
Rangers.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
I mean, that's
my
what I
mind's
meant.
not constantly in the gutter.
Yeah. I mean, those are talented artists.
Well, we know what
Trying to
Matt
get through
is
college.
thinking about.
Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley rocking it.
Oh, God. So, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad we're getting those. Excited to
Looking
try 'em.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
So, yeah, I got a game in this past week. Daniel Areco and I got a chance to play. So he's one of our locals who plays quite a bit. And I didn't realize it, but that's the first time I've played him since, the first month of release.
you just hate him that much, huh?
No, I just schedules don't line up at the right times, or when we have tournaments, we just aren't we aren't drawn on the same table. But,
He's rarely available on the weekends, so that makes sense that he doesn't really,
Yeah. So we got a chance to play again, and you know what? Is because we've been playing the RPQs and stuff like that, or trying to hone competitive lists. I haven't done I'm gonna do a fun list for a while, and I haven't done that in a while. And he
This
and I
game is
both-
not for fun.
But it is.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to get competitive lists perfectly crafted so you can place fourth at a small RPQ, you want to try to find something that's going to work. But with he and I both kind of said, hey, you want to just play a fun list that we don't care if you're going to win. Yeah, let's try it. So we both ran Rebels. I ran triple Wookiee, Han Leia
Nice.
Chewie, and 3 bare naked trooper squads. And he ran 2 Pathfinders.
How many
Jyn.
points was this?
800 points.
It was 800?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you really... I was squeezing to get that within 800 points. I got up to
Okay.
798. But like I said, those 3 trooper squads were butt naked. And he had 2 Pathfinders with Pow and Jyn. And just a few scattered trooper squads. And then a Saboteur unit. Basically, no snipers. Either army.
Okay, that was an agreement you made before the game that we weren't gonna
That
take
wasn't. It
snipers.
wasn't an agreement. It was just we both kind of wanted to play without snipers.
Okay.
I didn't tell him hey, you can't play with snipers. We just both wanted to try something totally new, and it was fun. It was a really great, different experience than from what most of the games I've played so far. No
Okay.
Luke, no snipers, no Imperials. So that was kind of rare. But yeah, it was a enjoyable game. We played Sabotage the Moisture Evaporators and Long March.
Oh,
So
boy.
I kind of had a little bit of a disadvantage right off the bat with him having Jyn and 2 Pathfinders. Him being able to infiltrate half of his army right off the bat. So I had a little bit of an uphill climb, literally, because he got a couple guys on top of buildings. I think he just kind of underestimated how fast Wookiees can move.
And how terrible the Pathfinders are in melee defense.
Yeah, and that was what kind of tipped the balance. Was he had these great overlooking positions with with his Pathfinders, with the moisture evaporators already, but I was able to use line of sight blocking terrain to get to them. Moving, climbing up, free, that helped a lot, and then getting a charge on there. Yeah.
Ouch.
Those Wookiees are very mobile.
They are. So, plus it's nice when you're not fighting against stormtroopers and having to worry about red dice saves, because that's just the bane of my existence. But it was a great game. It came down to the last moisture evaporator, I think, and I was able to take it and close it off. But it was, like I said, a fun game without snipers, and definitely shook up the meta of what I've been usually seeing, at least.
Good.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break and come back, and we'll talk some more ideas of house rules that we can use to kind of shake up the game a little bit.
Like you just did with Daniel.
Like I did with that, yeah.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. John, Josh, and Matt. We're talking about home ruling, some Legion rules, and finding new ways to make the game fun.
Just spice it up.
Yeah, spice it up a little bit.
Get a little spicy.
So the first rule I was thinking of it's a small tweak, but it would kind of have a big impact.
Could I talk dirty to you at the table?
You can do that.
Oh, you're such a big manly Wookiee.
It's gonna be more than a little tweak, though.
Look at you.
Just saying.
Have you got a Life Day present for me?
Legion Cosmo, here we go.
Take your Legion play to the next level.
5 tricks around the table he'll love.
No.
Look, we're doing house rules, not penthouse rules, okay?
Oh, dear Legion.
Or cider house
there
rules.
I was. Okay. Never thought it would happen to me, but there I was on the outer rim.
Oh, God, no.
We'll stop there.
No.
Were you there for work? A job, if you will?
Sure. Yes.
Oh.
Jesus. You crazy, man. You crazy. Okay, but yes, let us have some fun with a game that is...
He's the HoloNet repairman.
Yeah. So I hear there's something jammed up in your communicator. Let's just try to work the kinks out.
And that's when the Figrin' Dan music starts. Oh, man. I hope nobody is driving by
that one guy who's
I hope nobody's going through a drive-through window right now while they're listening to this.
I got a DoorDash here. Got a bag full of dicks for you.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
This is going to end up being our first not
NSFW.
safe for children podcast.
Earmuffs.
It's your fault, FFG. This is what happens when you don't give us things to talk about.
We go a little
Idle
bit.
hands, the devil's
Look
plaything.
what you made me do, FFG.
It's so hot in here right now.
You should take off all your clothes.
No, I was not doing a song bit.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good day, sir.
All right, the first house rule that we have, only playing 2 of any one unit. So, people are getting sick of seeing 6 D6s out there or 6 DLTs.
Raise his hand.
3 snipers.
Well,
But you're the 6 DLT
DLT
guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then as far as it affects you.
Yeah. Well, rules are for other people.
But I get tired of playing 6 D6s.
What do you think this is? Outback Steakhouse?
Yes! No rules, just right.
This isn't Vietnam.
Trademark.
There are rules.
Hey, it's Burger King. I want it. I get it my way.
So with this, it'll be easier to do when we've got all of the Rebel and Imperial releases out. When we see, the Tauntauns and the Shore Troopers and stuff. Once those are finally out,
Because if you want to run 6 core units,
you're gonna have to.
You gotta have 3
yeah.
core unit choices. Yeah.
But it'll be cool because you'll see more fleet troopers out there. You'll see more snow troopers out there rather than just jankless.
No. More double snows. No.
Yeah, and I have no problem running more fleet troopers.
How many fleet troopers do you have?
I have 3 boxes of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not on Nick Freeman level or the player formerly known as Nick Freeman.
Ouch.
Well, I mean,
he's just a memory of ascent.
He currently has 0 fleet troopers.
Well, this
Yeah.
is true.
Correct.
Yeah.
I say I've only got like 1 snow trooper, 1 fleet trooper for my collection.
Yeah, and it's something a lot of people don't buy a lot of because most people don't run more than 1. And if you do, it's for a jank list.
But if you'd like to get a second set of fleet troopers,
Yeah.
Power9games.com has all
say,
your
hit up your local very local game store.
Yeah, so it's a cool way to get some units in there that you wouldn't normally see, and it's a good way to decrease the impact of some of the units we see people spam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The second,
I like that.
Yeah,
It's only 2 snipers at the most.
yeah, exactly.
Snipers are annoying.
I
They're annoying to
wholeheartedly
play
agree.
and play against.
Okay,
Ugh.
so no more of 2 of a single unit.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless they're strike teams, and then you get 0.
So you can't have like double Vader.
I award you 0 strike teams.
No double Vader, no double Palp, no double Luke.
Ooh, double Luke.
It's not Sons of Skywalker. It's just
What?
one. He's only got one.
The twin
Palpatine had a
sons of
clone.
Skywalker?
What's up?
The twin sons of Skywalker?
It was. I mean,
There were 2 Skywalkers in the Timothy Zahn books. There was Luke and Luke.
What?
Yeah.
Has that been stricken from?
Have you not read those?
Which ones?
The real Zahn books, the Heir to the Force, and you never saw those?
I mean,
Like,
I read a lot of those books back then. I don't remember that one.
so
Heir to the Empire, yes, I remember.
So basically, the upshot is the Emperor had a cloning facility and was cloning people, and when they made a clone, they put like an extra vowel in their name. So Luke fought Luke, Luuke, at the end of the book.
And that's how the nation of
Luke
Finland
and how
was
much
founded.
I care. Yeah. It was clone of Norway. What?
Lots of double vowels.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like how you get all your stormtrooper names or your Star Wars character names. Finnish
So-
hockey players.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll have Palpatine and Alpatine. Right?
You throw a random apostrophe in there too.
No, I don't. Well, there might have been. Yeah, there might have been an apostrophe in there. But
Anyways,
anyways,
that's no longer canon, so we don't talk about
no, it's not, unfortunately, because Disney sucks.
And I think I'm okay with this one being cut out of the the storyline. Let's continue
Anyway.
on. What other?
it. So second house
Spicy
rule
news.
kind of goes along
Or
with the first one.
rules.
You must have at least one of every unit type.
Unit type, not
Unit
one
type.
of every unit.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to have 1 heavy, 1 support, 1 special forces, 1
Wait,
operative.
so I have to bring an ATST or a tank,
You do.
Yes.
and you have to bring
Hey,
a
wait,
spear.
wait.
Yeah.
You have to bring a T-47 or an X-34.
Oh no! Don't make me do
yeah,
that.
here, twist my
Yeah,
arm.
right. I feel like that's probably the wrong person to have to threaten with that.
Now I've got a reason.
I'd like to see a game where you played one of every unit in the faction.
I mean, that would be interesting.
Points
yeah.
irrespective, but you get a Vader, a Veers, a Palpatine, a DLT squad, an HH-12 squad, a
That could be
Snowtrooper
kinda
squad,
interesting, yeah.
a Snowtrooper Flamer squad, a Ion.
Sorry, the mind rebels
fleet,
against
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But then speeder bikes, dewbacks, tank, ATST,
I don't mind that.
E-Web.
Yeah.
1 VT, 1 Royal Guard.
And you just kit it out however you want.
Yeah.
Put as many upgrades as you want on it. Yeah. I
Points
like it.
irrespective. Have fun, but your entire army is one of everything.
We'll call it the catalog
a
format.
Boba Fett, a Bossk. Yeah. How fun would that be? One of everything. The kitchen sink
It
format.
will be a 5 fun.
Is it fun-sized?
Sure.
Because that's the best thing about fun-sized candy, is the fact that they have scientifically quantified the amount of fun. Yeah. A fun is apparently a 3-inch Snickers bar. Yeah. So if you say you're having fun, you are basically having a 3-inch
Any more than that,
Snickers
you're having too much fun.
bar. Exactly.
And you need to cease.
Right.
So I guess what would probably work with that, if you've got more than one commander, is you probably need to have a bigger command hand.
Ooh.
So one of the other rules I thought of would be allowing up to 3 cards of each pip, and increasing the potential hand size to 10 cards.
Now, at that point, why not just disregard standing orders?
You still have to have standing orders.
Why?
In case all your commanders
You
die.
can't break all of the rules,
Yeah.
Josh, okay? There has to be order somehow in
It's
this
my
galaxy.
party, and I'll not bring standing orders if I want to.
You'll regret it.
There are, add it to the list, brother. Add it to the list.
But you'll be able to have, a lot of cards you wouldn't normally see out there. You
Wait,
might actually...
so if you only got one commander, though, how do you get 3 of...
No, you can have multiple commanders. You can't have 2 of the same commander, but you can have 2 commanders.
Oh, okay.
But what if I only brought Vader? Could I still bring the Pelt Bomb card?
So that could be interesting.
Now, are you gonna lock out the cards from?
So it'd have to be all the neutrals plus Vader's cards plus all the specialist cards, or...
So I'm thinking all right, so the original idea for this idea would be to have, 2 commanders and an operative, and
Sure.
you'll have 3 available cards. So rather than having to pick and choose whether you want, you've got middle management,
Yeah.
you don't have to pick between, do I want Veers' cards, do I want Krennic's cards, or do I want Boba Fett's cards? Well, now you can take all 3.
Okay.
So kind of gives you more options, and of course, it makes the gameplay phase where you
Boba
eliminate.
Fett nods quietly at that.
Yeah, you
So I
eliminate
can't
the
give
tough
Veers
decisions.
like the Boba Fett rocket pack. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. That would be an interesting way of doing it.
Can I give Boba Fett and his Sharpshooter 2 max firepower?
Josh, in your house, you play whatever house
Exactly.
rules you want.
Can I put a land speeder on whatever base I want?
No.
Aw.
No, Josh.
Why not?
We draw the line somewhere. don't be ridiculous.
Okay, I'll stop.
You're talking crazy.
Flight of fancy.
Right? No, but it would be kind of cool to be able to, not have to make those choices in the command hand, of building your command hand, but then you have to make those decisions when you're actually playing your command cards because you don't really know what your opponent's going to have.
That's true.
I mean, you might see cards like Brains and Brawn that you don't normally see, or, covert operations, for God's sakes.
If you run Brains and Brawn, but you don't have Chewie, does he just like drop pod onto the board for one turn, and he just kind of does a combo attack and then
Then the card
out?
Well, if you play it without Chewie, it just becomes Brains, and then it becomes a zombie game. It's completely different. Leia turns into a zombie at that point.
I mean, if you didn't bring the bronze, you really have all that brains? I don't know.
Probably not.
It limits you to a speed 1 move.
You got that brains? No.
But you get charge.
Right. And the fourth idea, this is an old standby that we used to play back in my Warhammer days, Beer Hammer.
What's Beer Hammer?
So Beer Hammer is where you bring a 12-pack of beer per person,
Yeah.
or if that's too much because you're not from Wisconsin and don't consume.
If you're a reasonable person, yeah.
If you have things to do for the next 2 days afterwards, you basically have a set number of beers per side, and you drink as you're playing. And whenever you finish your beer, you throw it on the table wherever you want, and that becomes a piece of terrain.
So if you're drinking normal beer, is it cover 2?
Yeah.
And if you bring Bud Light, it's light cover.
Yeah. If you bring
How that works?
well, if you bring Bud
You
Light,
get
I
shamed
don't
off the
play.
table, I
I don't
think,
play
yeah.
with you, but
What
have a
if you want to
feeling-
go for the gusto and you bring a giant beer stein?
ooh,
And you're
pony
boom.
keg.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this Beer Hammer
Reinforcements
format
override.
works a lot better as an indoor board.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you like your trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring 40s. There
If you
you go.
like the trees, you should go on the outdoor board.
I mean, you could do that too, but
So there was a similar format for War Machine where it was basically you would have to drink a drink, but you'd get a reroll for the dice, and that was kind of the beer.
I feel like you could probably
Machine.
combine these ideas. I mean, because there's
Do a reroll and then put it on the board. That's too much advantage, isn't
Well,
it?
no, you just take sips.
yeah, like say you get
You take a sip of the beer to.
Hey, you're drinking my terrain.
To do your reroll. Take a sip of the beer to
Yeah.
do your reroll, or take a drink, and then when it's empty, it goes on the board.
it actually doesn't become terrain until it's empty. It's transubstantiation. It's a beer can until it's empty, and then it becomes a tree.
Okay.
This is very
Got
meta.
Very,
You
very
didn't grow up.
religious there
you
for a
didn't-
second.
You didn't
there.
grow up Catholic. You didn't understand.
Yeah, no, I totally understood. I was like, my terrain is now the body of Christ. What's
It's like I'm reading
going
an
on?
Andrew Scott Card book.
wow. Let's welcome to the podcast. Here comes Tom Hanks.
At least it's not Mel Gibson,
Yeah.
Or Tom Cruise.
right? No, but you combine.
That sounds fun. No,
you can combine
I'd
those
be down
ideas.
for that.
So you drink the beer to
Yeah.
get the rerolls, and then
Yep.
when it's done, it becomes terrain.
Cool.
So you're not just drinking pointlessly throughout the game.
Which is what you'd be doing anyways if you were just playing a game with Legion with,
This is
drinks
for
in
fun,
hand.
Matt. It's for fun,
Okay,
okay?
you're
Does that
right.
make
I'm
it,
sorry.
Does that make it Tequila Legion?
It does not?
No.
No.
Tequila Legion? No. We've got to find a witty. I mean, Beer Hammer rolls. It rolls off the tongue.
It does, but
we
it's
got to
not,
find
yeah.
something with Legion. That
Don't
to
you
mention-
patronize us.
No.
You're welcome.
No.
All right. Anybody who's listening out there, if you want to throw in a better,
Yeah, come up with some better
better
ideas than
alcohol.
us,
yeah, a better
Yeah.
portmanteau of alcohol and
and
Legion.
Legion. Yeah.
Go
please.
for it. We can use it. You got any house rules you want?
Yeah,
to throw
so
in?
I mean, the couple of that I've always wanted to kind of bring into Legion. They both go back to my days playing X-wing out in the Virginia area, because this was a couple of formats that were really popular out there. The first one is something that's probably going to be a little bit more popular once all of the other factions come out, and you have 4 factions to choose from. But what they would do in X-wing is they would have what they call a pirate format.
With rum and booty?
No.
Gar?
This is no. Outer Rum came out today.
Okay.
But that's a different game altogether.
That's a different game.
See what I did there? So the premise behind a pirate game is, first of all, no uniques.
Okay.
So no named characters.
So all kinds of Officer Becky's running around.
Officer Becky. Yep.
Shel Silverstein.
Yeah,
Just those two.
basically.
Okay.
Yep.
Silverstein.
Anyone not notice he looks like Shel Silverstein?
I did now.
I don't think I've
Great.
thought about
But he
him
had
in
shoes on.
20 years. So
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. So you're kind of limited for commander choices at the beginning of the game, because I don't think we're going to get any generics for clones and droids for a while. But the other thing is you are only allowed one of any unit type.
Huh. Okay.
So you can only do one stormtrooper unit.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
You can only do one rebel Z6 squad.
But you can do both of them.
But yes, you can combine factions.
Fun. I might actually get some use out of my Death Troopers and Imperial Royal Guard that I
Right.
was sitting in.
So you
Sitting
can
in the
You
beach
just
do-
made it
basically.
for fun.
Yeah.
So you could have
Like a monster.
You could have Shel Silverstein commanding, you'd have a Z6 unit and a Flame Trooper unit and a DLT squad and maybe a scattergun squad and then
And General
Wookiees
Grievous. Oh, wait. No, named.
and then Wookiees
and Death Troopers
and Death
together.
Troopers.
Nice.
You could have
Poor
the,
B1s.
right? Yeah. You could have your ATST providing covering fire for your air speeders. Something a little different. And what that really did in X-Wing, and I think it would do it for Legion too, is it takes away all of the things you get out of unique commanders.
Okay.
Command cards. You don't get Son of Skywalker. You don't get No Time for Sorrows, any of that stuff. It makes the game more of a purely positioning game.
So we would be able to use both factions
Generic
specialist
command cards?
cards?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. But that's it. That's right for now. That's all you get.
No, I like it.
Standard rules apply
Cool.
as far as the rest of your squad building.
Yeah, I think
But
it'll
where
be a
that-
lot more fun when we get the new factions.
Yeah, when you get the new factions,
Sure.
and you can mix more of it, because then otherwise you're only limited to 4 core units. Now you could probably take 4 core units and do something tasty with all of the other Pathfinders and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're running Pathfinders, no power Bistian.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't have the option, because they're uniques, they don't go in there.
So you can't use the unique upgrades on the tanks then either.
But what about
That too.
Pa'au with like 3 A's? Would that be okay?
Pow.
Pa'au.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we're ETing this one. Pow. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's a way, and it kind of takes all of the synergies and dirty tricks out of the game and makes it more of a pure movement and positioning and
Okay.
shooting game. basically.
Yeah, I like it.
Everybody's on a level field because you all have the exact same things available to you to build your army.
All right.
So
let's get to the real idea, the one I was excited to hear about.
Yeah. So
what else you got?
So the other idea, and I think we might have talked about it earlier on the show, but it's worth reiterating. What they would do out in Nova is they would do Hunger Games. So instead of having an 800-point army, you have one character.
Oh, okay.
So what they would do, and it wasn't bring whatever you would want. The organizers of the game, and it's usually like a tournament format kind of thing, but it's you and 8 players, and it's a death match.
Oh. Is this a free-to-play expansion?
Yes, it is.
Can we charge for extra dances and skins?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah. The DLC is cosmetic only. But what the organizers would do in the X-Wing Hunger Games is they would pick basically 8 ships, single small ships, and then they would assign those ships just basic abilities. So it has so many attack dice, it has so many this, and it can perform this maneuver and that maneuver. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Barrel roll, stuff like that. But there were no upgrades at all. Because
interesting. Okay.
Because in the Hunger Games, you pop up out of the thing,
and you grab whatever weapons
and you grab whatever you can.
Okay, I got
right?
you.
So what you would do in Legion is you would pick, Vader, Luke, Han, Veers, and you would have to sit there and balance them. So, maybe now Veers gets 2 red and a black to attack instead of 3 white. Something like that.
Okay.
You would do some stuff, and you could probably use the Gathering Legions thing to balance everything out and tweak stuff up and down and make sure everybody's the same. But
I want Leia with a rocket launcher.
You could have that.
Hey, all right.
Because what you do for upgrades is you put tokens out there for heavy weapon, for equipment, for force powers. You get Veers and he gets force choke or force push or something like that, right? So
can we put like random medical droids maybe?
Maybe that could be an upgrade.
That'd be cool. Or have them just like they're stationed right there, and like you can run over to get to them.
Yeah, you would get a medic droid. That might be because what you would do is if you would like walk over the token, and the game master would have a deck of upgrade cards, and whatever corresponding token, he would just flip you the top card off the deck. You didn't get to choose. So you might get flipped a medical droid. You might get flipped a DLT. You might get flipped an ion gun.
We could get Han Solo with a bowcaster.
Yes.
So absolutely. I could get Chewbacca with a lightsaber.
Gun. No, because there's no lightsaber.
There's no way.
But what if we made one?
What about?
Well, you could do that, but and basically what it does is it kind of makes everybody, your player is kind of a good place to start, but then you just get some fantastical upgrades. With X-Wing, you would get like X-Wings with turrets.
Oh, stuff like would never be able to actually
be on it. Stuff that would never happen, right? But you play it on a 3x3, and everybody basically starts out like a range 2 from everybody else.
Nice.
So you have one person like in the middle of an edge, and then the next person's in the corner, and then the next person's in the middle of the other edge, and then the next corner, middle edge, corner, middle edge, corner, middle edge.
I mean, this sounds like something that you could do with like the Arena Rex Coliseum.
Oh,
you could.
Yeah,
sure.
That'd be about the perfect size. Yeah.
Right.
But and it's a last man standing or last Becky standing, whichever one you want. But yeah, Boba Fett, Bossk, Chewie.
Cool.
You would have them all available as options.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, Shel Silverstein volunteers as tribute, so.
And you don't have. You're not limited to 1 per table, right? So there could be 4 Vaders out there, but it gets a little bit of that Survivor Hunger Games feel when Matt and I team up to make sure that it's you die and we're. So there's all kinds of side tables and stuff like that.
You can do the political let's team up and
hey,
it doesn't matter.
The 3 of us team up and kill that guy because he's the biggest threat, and then we'll worry about us later, kind of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah,
but at the end of the game, it'll always be the 12-year-old that wins.
Yeah. And then you could also buy because every time I played this, it was part of like a fundraiser or something. like that.
So you can have the sponsor drops.
Sponsor drops. So what they would do for X-Wing is. They would have 1 sponsor drop that increased your attack by 1 for that.
Ooh.
So you could get a sponsor drop that lets you re-roll a defensive roll.
Okay.
It's like, oh God, that was terrible. I'm going to spend my sponsor drop and because hey, I blanked out 4 red dice, completely. So I'm going to spend my sponsor drop and hey, look, now I tanked all the damage.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that could help me
so
a lot.
you'd get 3 sponsor tokens.
It only
and,
happens on the clutchest turns for
Right.
Luke.
you know,
Sorry.
or one of your sponsor tokens may be you get to move and act first this turn,
Oh, cool. Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
these are all good ideas.
Yeah,
Man.
I like it.
Well, they're all ideas.
Look at those things we have to think of when FFG doesn't give us any help.
Yay, the good idea fairy came.
Right.
Yay! Let's sprinkle some of that good idea stuff.
So we got some Patreon news, huh?
Yeah, we just had a new Imperial Outrider join, so thank you for your support and everybody else that continues to support the show. It is, I wrote it down here, Nathan Gall. Thank you very much, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah, appreciate you. But other than that, still no news on the t-shirts.
No,
We're going to stop by tomorrow morning and see what's going on.
Hopefully we'll find out about that.
I will have to make a personal appearance. Have my stormtroopers blow the door as I tread through. It's like, t-shirts, I know you have them here.
Make sure you tell them that the Emperor is not as forgiving as you are.
Yeah, that's true.
You should.
I'm way more forgiving than the Emperor. Yeah. Totally more. It's like, oh, no, I'm not going to kill. What? Jeez. This lightsaber? No, it doesn't even do anything. I just like bonk, bonk.
How'd that go again?
Bonk.
Boop him on the nose.
Yeah, boop.
On that note, we're going to head out.
I got
Alright.
some Pokemon going to go do.
Oh, yeah, you go do some Pokemon.
We'll see you next week, Outriders.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter at Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.